Hello, hello, hello. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Y'all, I'm coming to y'all today. I found something came across my screen on my phone. And when I read it, I was just heartbroken. Um, just definitely heartbroken when I seen that a child, uh, and I'm trying to pull it up right now so we can play it. And I'm gonna share it. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold or something. So excuse me, bear with me. I took the flu shot and the pneumonia shot, and I hate taking the flu shot because it gives you a cold, but then it gets you better to fight off germs. So now I'm trying to bring this video. I'm trying to play this video. If I can get it to come up, I may have to stop it and go back out. Okay, here it is.
Well, first on 11 Alive, we're hearing from the family of the sixth grade boy who was allegedly knocked unconscious after an assault by his own classmates. It happened at Stevenson Middle School, and the family says the school is doing nothing to protect him. Or Caitlin Ross spoke with the boy's mother, who says this isn't the first time.
Demi Oche has a list of the ways. She says Stevenson Middle School has failed her son. She says teachers won't change his class schedule to separate him from bullies. And she says they didn't call for help when he got knocked out.
Told us that our son was involved in an assault and that he was beaten until he was unconscious, and if we could just come to the school and pick him up.
She says she's asked the school dozens of times for help.
Our son has been bullied, coming home complaining about bullies being assaulted at school.
She says a lot of the bullying at school is about her son's identity. He's adopted and white. Her family is black.
His mom don't love him. He don't know who his dad is. His mom dropped him off at my house. His daddy is the milkman. And it's all because he's a white boy with black parents.
When Demi didn't get answers from the school, she hired attorney Raymond Humphrey to help her.
Since then, we've asked for reports, videos, photographs, files, just to find out what's going on, and we haven't got answers yet.
He went to the school board to try and find out why the kids accused in the attack have not been held accountable.
We have a mom who needs to know what happened to her son. Once she is told that the child was rendered unconscious, it's unbelievable that the child is not have received medical attention.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the DeKalb County School District told me while they don't comment on potential litigation, the school should follow the consequences outlined in the student handbook.
You can't make sense of it. You can't make sense of it at all. And I just pray that this is not what our school system is becoming.
Now, Demi says she's pulled her son out of school and now he's terrified to go back. So she says they're looking at other education options for him until they get some guarantees from the school about his safety.
Okay. I was literally like, I don't believe this is happening. We're in 2022. I don't want to say it was racial that they didn't do anything. I'm going to just say maybe they didn't know any better, because I don't care who child it is. I don't care if the child is black, white, orange, purple. I don't care. It's not acceptable. Nobody's child should have to go to school in fear for their safety. It is not acceptable. And this makes me wonder, are the teachers qualified? And is the principal qualified to do their job at our children's schools? Because if they're not qualified to keep our children safe, then they don't need to be in that position. Are people in positions because you like them? Or are they in positions because they're qualified to keep our children safe? This is ridiculous. I mean ridiculous. Nobody child should be faced with bullying. This is just not acceptable. So I'm gonna go through again. What is bullying? This is a report that I had found back here, and it was saying that children are bullied in places they are bullied in. Before I get to the bullying policy, so it's saying that most likely children are 43% bullied in the hallways and stairwell. 42% they're bullied in class. Okay. They are 27% bullied in the cafeteria. Outside school ground is 22%. Online or by texting is 15%. In the bathroom or locker room is 12%. And on the school bus is 8%. And this was according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 2019. So then I said, well, maybe do we have teachers that don't understand what bullying is? Do we have principals that don't understand what bullying is? Do they need to be re-educated about the bullying policy? And we're going to go through that because there is a bullying policy in the United States. I think it's 39 schools, different states. We have a bullying policy. How is this child getting bullied? And the teachers are standing by and the principals and nobody's doing nothing? Then what are y'all doing? Sitting around eating donuts all day? No, this is not acceptable. That job may not be for you if you can't protect our children, if you can't do your job. What is bullying? Bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involve a real or perceived power imbalance. Somebody's looking for power. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Both kids who are bullied and bullied, it's a serious and it's a long-lasting problem. We know this is a problem in our society. We know that bullying can happen to anybody, child. We are aware of that. But how is this child beaten unconscious? Did anybody see this child getting kicked or beaten unconscious and nobody stepped in to help him? But you got teachers, you're in the hallway. Did it happen in class? I want to know, where did it happen at? Who's held responsible? Because as a teacher, that's your job. And if you can't protect our children in your classrooms or in the cafeteria, you got teachers everywhere, and y'all standing around letting a child get beat down, and you don't stop it, then we don't need you in the school system. You should be terminated. Somebody's got to be held accountable. You just got to. Hi, Tan. Hi, Tan. Yes, this is just it's just unacceptable. Would you like to come up, Miss Mannings? I'm going to drop the link, and you can click on the link and you can come up and speak. Anybody that would like to come up and speak, you are more than welcome. I welcome y'all. This is one of my good friends. Her husband is a minister. He's a bishop. He's a presiding pastor. Let me get it right, because I ain't got it right, girl. Come up and explain what your husband is. She is a first lady, but her husband is over several churches. So I commend them for the great work that they do. But bullying, girl, we got to talk about it, because it takes more than one to speak out. It takes the churches to speak out. It takes everybody to speak out when it comes to our children in school. Nobody child should be bullied. It's just not acceptable. But I'm going through what bullying is, because I say, well, maybe the teachers don't understand what bullying is. Maybe the principal don't understand what bullying is. Maybe they don't know their job. And so basically, I want to provide some tips of what it is. It's a serious problem. Somebody want power. Somebody's looking for strength. You got a child getting embarrassed, picked on in school, name calling. And it happens repeatedly. Verbal bullying, teasing, inappropriate sexual comments, threatening behaviors, taunting, teasing somebody. You got social bullying. You leaving somebody out on purpose, telling other children not to be friends with this person. And sometimes our kids come home and say, well, such and such didn't play with me today. But as a parent, you got to get more involved to find out, well, why they didn't play with you today. Is it bullying going on? Because that's my first instinct. Okay, let me ask more questions. Because sometimes you got a group of children that would tell other children, well, we're not playing with you. Excuse me. We're not playing with such and such today, because this person is more popular, and then you got the popular group going on, and they don't want to play with the group that's not so popular, or one girl that may be different than everybody else, or one boy that may be different. And then just because they're different, they're picked on, or you want to embarrass them. That's not acceptable. Physical. And that's what this little boy, he was physically hit. Oh, excuse me. He was physically hit. Making hand gestures. So there is a number of different types of bullying. We're not going to go through all of them. What I did want to touch on was the bullying policy and what should have happened that did not happen. I'm going to assume in this case. And this is my opinion. It's not actually what happened, but this is my opinion. So you can't hold nobody else accountable for what I'm saying. It's just my opinion. You got the school administrator. You got the board members. Anytime that your child may be experiencing some type of bullying behavior, I don't know if I know she said, this young lady was saying, well, I went to the school, I went to his teachers, and he is still being bullied. So my thing was, did anybody go to the school board to have the conversation of bullying? Because it's ridiculous. We cannot accept this in our school systems. And if your child is being bullied, go to the school board. In the United States, we do have a bullying policy in place. Why they did not follow the policy, I don't know. but 39 states do have a bullying policy in place. What is this? Bullying policy must be clearly define what bullying is. And we have went through some of the bullying terms. I think it should have been an investigation. The principal, the teachers failed this little boy. I will say that the school failed him. There should have been an investigation and reporting procedures. So did anybody report this in the school? And if they did, what was done? Because the mother said nothing was done. Was this child, because I just want to know more about what happened with the child. Who was involved? Was the teachers around? Did they report the incident? Because if they reported it and then the principal didn't do anything, then it falls on the principal. Maybe we got the wrong principal. But how is a child beaten unconscious and nobody sees it? Nobody seen it? No teachers, no kids in the hallway screaming and hollering. You know how kids do when somebody's being bullied or somebody's being jumped on. The whole school gather around. It's enough noise going on that the teacher should come out and see exactly what's going on to allow this child to get kicked unconscious. And nobody say anything? Nobody did anything? Nobody even called the police? And the only thing they could do is call a parent and say, your child is here unconscious or he's been beat up? No, that's not acceptable. Did you get the kids that did it? Did you do anything? Did you dismiss them from school? Because we got zero tolerance. What happened to the kids that did this to this young boy that now he's afraid to come to school? If nothing happened, and your child is constantly being bullied and the teacher's not doing anything and the principal's not doing anything, you have a right to go to call every member on the school board. You have a right. And if that doesn't work, call you an attorney. Call you an attorney because you as parents got to keep your children safe. It is your responsibility to make sure that your child goes to school and get a good education and that they are safe. And if that is not happening, wait a minute. Let me see. If that is not happening, something needs to be done. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. We can't keep allowing this to happen. It happens too many times. So I would definitely say, if all else failed and I have went to the teacher and the teacher didn't do her job to report the incident, and I went to the principal and the principal did not write anybody up or at least investigate what happened to keep my child safe, then I'm going to the school board because maybe that principal is not qualified to be in that school. Maybe that teacher is not qualified to teach our children if you can't keep them safe. So my heart breaks for this little boy who was beaten unconscious. And he's in the 6th grade, and now he's feared that he don't want to go to school. Nobody should be picking on anybody, regardless of who their parents are. It should have been stopped. And if our schools have zero tolerance, the school definitely failed this little boy. You failed it. And there should be consequences. Definitely should be consequences. But this is what I had to say. I didn't like it. What are we doing to prevent bullying in school? What is your school doing to prevent bullying? Are the principals having conversations about it? Are you talking to the kids in class about it to tell them that it's not acceptable? Are you going over the bullying policy with everybody and their parents? Maybe this should be a conversation for PTA. Maybe this should be a conversation in every classroom to make sure that all children gain a understanding of what bullying is. And if you are caught bullying, there is zero tolerance. Are we having the conversations enough? And so that's my thing. We need to have more conversation, because what I seen and heard, and this happened yesterday, this is not acceptable in our schools. And it should not be tolerated. And if it means teachers don't need their job because you're allowing it to happen, or the principal didn't do his job because you didn't write anybody up, did you call the kids to the office? There are procedures for bullying. Did you follow procedures? North Carolina has a policy, and there are procedures in the United States. The United States, that means schools all across the United States. You should find out what the policy is for your city. And sometimes you can Google that, finding the Board of Education, what the policy is for bullying, harassment, behavior problems. I would definitely ask everybody to start finding that information out where your child is at school, so that you would at least know, if this happens to you, what you can do. I know each state may be different, but I say everybody needs to find out, what is the policy in your state? What is the bullying procedures? What should have taken place that did not happen? And who should be held accountable? Because this little boy that got beat up and knocked unconscious is definitely not his fault. It's not his fault. And now he's afraid to go to school. It's not his fault. All right, that's it. I would want to know more about what happens here. It's somewhere down the line. I know what should take place. Maybe it will eventually, because they need to make sure that our principals are more qualified, and that our teachers are definitely qualified to teach. That's a subject that's different by itself. Even I did research, and it's a lot of teachers in certain districts that may not even have degrees. And then there are a lot of teachers that have degrees. Some have doctor's degrees, some have bachelor's degrees. But there are a lot of teachers out here that are teaching our children that may not even be qualified to teach. How can you get my child to go to school and you ain't even been to school? That's just my thinking. But I would definitely say, check all the policies in your area to see exactly what the bullying procedures are. What is the school policy on bullying? So if your child is ever confronted with bullying, you would definitely know what to do. And if all else fail, talk with an attorney, because this has to stop. One way or another, we have to get bullying down and under control. And it starts with the teachers and the principals, and then we can enforce it on the children to stop. But it starts at the head. I can't ask the children to stop bullying when I got teachers that are allowing it to happen, or I got the principal allowing it to happen, and everybody's turning a deaf ear and nobody's watching these children. I don't know. What are your thoughts about it? So I ask, like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Those are my feelings. What are your feelings about it? I would like to hear everybody's comment. And that's it for today. I just wanted to talk about that. I was just a little upset with the little boy getting somebody kicking on him or beating him down at this school, and nobody stepped in to help him. And to knock a child unconscious, that's just, I didn't like that. 6th grade, something needs to take place. And it starts with our adults who are the administrators. These are children. Where are the adults that's supposed to make sure our kids are safe at school? We got to hold them more accountable. I say, have a good day. Before I go, if you know you got a child that's bullying, you need to have the conversation with your child that's not accepted in school, because they could get expelled for doing it. And they could, I don't know. I think the higher the grades are, I don't know when you can get charged with an assault. But that's pretty much what happened here. I think if you got a child, you need to have these bullying conversations so they won't get in trouble or get expelled or get this on their record that you're out here fighting or you're out here bullying another student. That's something nobody childs need on their record, especially if they're trying to go to college down the road. So we as parents have got to have that conversation with our children and not always put everything on the principal and the teachers as well. It starts at home. So all the adults, we've got to do better. This is just not acceptable. All right, those are my opinions. I'm sorry to see this happen to this young boy. And I wish him the best going forward. Then I hope something is done at this school. Have a good evening, and I'll talk with y'all later. And I'm going to call you Miss Manning, or give me a call when you're free. All right, have a good evening.